Respect is the foundation of any relationship. The moment a woman starts disrespecting you, it's a sign that she no longer sees you as a strong man. And if you let it slide, you've already lost. Women test men all the time. Some do it subconsciously, some do it deliberately. They want to see if you're weak, if you'll tolerate disrespect, if you'll bend just to keep them around. Most men fail this test. They argue, they beg, they explain themselves, they try to make her understand. But here's the truth. The moment you start justifying yourself to a woman who disrespects you, she's already won. She sees you as a man she can walk over. And when she realizes that, the disrespect will only get worse. So, what do? You respond like a man, calm, firm, and decisive. No emotions, no over-explaining, no desperate reactions. Women are drawn to men who command respect, not demand it. If you have to beg her to treat you right, she never truly respected you in the first place. Disrespect is a deal breaker. A woman who values you won't cross that line. But if she does, your response determines everything. The way you handle it decides whether she will see you as a leader or just another guy she can manipulate. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to deal with disrespect the right way. 7 simple but powerful actions that put you back in control. Pay close attention, because one mistake could cost you not just your respect, but your entire relationship. Now let's get into it. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my exclusive online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course goes deeper, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. We just completed section 4 in the course, and these insights aren't shared anywhere else. It's easy to access with multiple secure payment options. There are only 5 discounted slots remaining using the promo code. Visit stoicapproachtolife.podia.com or check the link in the description to enroll now before the offer is gone. 1. Never react with emotion. The worst mistake a man can make when a woman disrespects him is reacting emotionally. Whether it's anger, frustration, or desperation, the moment you let your emotions take over, she knows she has power over you. Women are naturally drawn to strength, and strength means control. Control over yourself, your emotions, and your actions. When a woman disrespects you, she's watching your response closely. If you lash out, yell, or get overly defensive, you show her that she has the ability to push your buttons. And once she sees that, she'll keep doing it. Because deep down, women do not respect a man who loses control. They might act like they enjoy seeing you emotional, but in reality, they lose attraction when they realize they can manipulate your feelings. On the other hand, if you stay calm and composed, she starts to question herself. She starts to wonder why her behavior isn't affecting you. She expected a reaction, but now she's faced with a man who doesn't flinch, doesn't beg, and doesn't need to prove himself. That's power. Being unemotional doesn't mean you ignore disrespect. It means you handle it like a leader. You address it firmly, but without giving her the emotional reaction she was looking for. If she raises her voice, you lower yours. If she tries to get under your skin, you show her it doesn't work. When you do this, 2 things happen. 1, she realizes that you're not a man she can push around. 2, she starts to respect you more because you've just shown her that you are above her drama. A practical example, you're with your woman, and she suddenly makes a disrespectful comment in front of other people. Maybe she jokes about you in a way that crosses the line. Most men would react instantly, arguing, calling her out in front of everyone, or trying to defend themselves. That's a weak move because it shows that her words got to you. Instead, you look at her calmly and say, "That was unnecessary." Then you continue whatever you were doing. You don't engage, you don't argue, and you don't let it affect you. Later, when you're alone, you let her know directly, "I don't tolerate disrespect. If you want to continue with me, don't do it again." Short, clear, and powerful. No explaining, no pleading. Just a statement of who you are and what you accept. Women respect what they can't shake. If you are emotionally controlled, she has no choice but to step into your frame or leave. And if she chooses to leave because you won't let her disrespect you, you've already won. A man who walks away from disrespect is a man who never has to tolerate it. 2. Remove your attention immediately. A woman thrives on a man's attention. It's like oxygen to her. The moment you pull it away, she feels it. And when she disrespects you, the best way to make her feel the weight of her actions is to withdraw your attention immediately. Most men do the opposite. They try to argue, explain, or even chase after her approval, hoping she will understand how wrong she was. But when a woman disrespects you, she already understands what she's doing. She's testing you. She's seeing how much she can get away with. The more you engage, the more she knows she can continue. The key is to cut her off instantly. If she says something disrespectful in person, end the conversation and disengage. If you're on the phone, tell her you'll talk later and hang up. If she's being rude over text, stop replying. When she notices your sudden distance, she'll start to panic internally. She expected a reaction, anger, arguing, or an emotional response. Instead, she's met with silence and distance. That makes her uncomfortable, and in that discomfort, she starts re-evaluating her behavior. Women respect men who are willing to walk away from disrespect. Because it signals that you are a man of value, you don't need her, and you certainly don't tolerate behavior that doesn't serve you. A woman only acts carelessly with a man when she feels she can. When she sees that her disrespect results in distance, she realizes she just created a problem for herself. She loses certainty about her place in your life, and that's when she starts thinking, did I go too far? A practical example, you're out with your woman, and she starts making passive-aggressive comments, rolling her eyes, or being unnecessarily rude. Instead of arguing or calling her out in front of everyone, you lean back, disengage, and stop giving her energy. If she asks what's wrong, you keep it simple. I don't entertain disrespect. That's it. You say it once, and you don't repeat yourself. If she continues, you physically remove yourself. Go talk to someone else, or if needed, leave the situation altogether. This works even stronger over text. Let's say she sends a disrespectful message, mocking you, being dismissive, or acting cold. Instead of trying to explain or fix things, you stop responding. Nothing. Silence. She will check her phone, wondering why you aren't reacting. And the more time that passes, the more she feels the tension. She will eventually reach out because she needs to break the silence. That's when she realizes her mistake. Men who reward disrespect with attention teach women that their behavior is acceptable. Men who remove their attention teach women that disrespect has consequences. The more consistent you are with this, the more she respects your presence, because she knows it's not something she can take for granted. 3. Set a clear standard. A man who does not set standards will always be disrespected. Women don't respect men who tolerate bad behavior. If you don't have clear boundaries, a woman will keep testing you, pushing further each time, just to see how much she can get away with. The moment you allow something once, you've taught her that it's okay. And once she sees that you don't enforce your standards, she will never take you seriously again. Most men think setting a standard means explaining over and over what they will and won't accept. That's a mistake. A woman doesn't learn through words, she learns through actions. If you say you won't tolerate disrespect, but then continue talking to her, spending time with her, or chasing her, you've just told her that your standards are fake. A clear standard means that when a woman crosses the line, she feels the consequences immediately, not through arguments, not through long explanations, but through the way you respond. If a woman disrespects you and you continue acting like nothing happened, you are teaching her that she can do it again. But if you make it clear once in a firm and controlled manner and then act accordingly, she understands that your words have weight. A practical example: you're on a date and your woman starts being rude to you. Maybe she talks over you, dismisses your opinion, or even makes fun of you in a way that crosses the line. Weak men laugh it off, hoping to keep the peace. Strong men address it immediately. You stop what you're doing, look at her calmly, and say, "That's not how I do things. If we're going to continue this, I expect respect." You don't laugh, you don't explain, and you don't soften it. You state your standard, then you get back to what you were doing. If she continues, you walk away. If she starts playing the victim, acting like you're overreacting, or trying to manipulate you into feeling guilty, you don't fold. You stand on your word. And here's what happens. She either adjusts her behavior and starts respecting you, or she walks away. Either outcome is a win for you, because a woman who refuses to respect a strong man isn't worth his time anyway. Setting a standard also means following through. If you tell a woman you won't tolerate disrespect but then let it slide the next time it happens, you've just weakened yourself. She now knows that your words are empty. A real standard is something you live by, not something you negotiate. Men who are respected do not tolerate what weak men tolerate. Women know the difference. The moment you prove that you don't play games, she will either step up or step out. And whichever happens, you win. 4. Walk away if she doesn't change. A man's greatest power is his ability to walk away. Nothing shakes a woman more than realizing she can actually lose you. When a woman disrespects you repeatedly and refuses to correct herself, the best response is simple: leave. No warnings, no negotiations, no arguments, just walk. Most men fear this. They think if they walk away, she'll move on. But here's the truth. When a woman knows a man is willing to walk, he becomes more valuable in her eyes. Women are wired to chase what they fear losing. A man who stays despite disrespect is a man she sees as weak. A man who walks away without hesitation is a man she respects. Now, this doesn't mean you make threats. Saying things like, "If you keep acting this way, I'll leave," is a weak move, because now she knows you're still emotionally attached. Women don't believe words, they believe actions. So, if she continues disrespecting you after you've already addressed it, you don't warn her, you just disappear. Imagine this. You've set your standards, you've removed your attention when she disrespected you, and you made it clear what you expect. But she keeps crossing the line. What do? You cut her off completely. No emotional messages, no explanations. You don't argue or try to make her understand. You simply leave her life like you never existed. Here's why this is powerful. Most men argue, beg, or keep trying to fix things. This makes a woman feel secure because she knows she still has control over you. But when you go silent, when you stop calling, stop texting, and stop reacting, she starts feeling uncertain. She realizes she's losing you, and that's when her behavior changes. Some women will chase you back immediately. Others will take time, but one thing is for sure. She will feel your absence. And if she truly values you, she will reach out. But here's the key. If she comes back, she must come back with changed behavior. If she returns and acts the same, you cut her off for good. Because a woman who loses you and still doesn't respect you is a woman who never truly valued you in the first place. A practical example. Let's say you've been dating a woman for months, and she keeps testing you with disrespect. Maybe she mocks you in front of others, constantly challenges your authority in a way that crosses the line, or speaks to you with an attitude. You've addressed it, and nothing has changed. Instead of wasting more time, you make your move. You leave her life completely. No messages, no explanations, just disappear. At first she might act unbothered, but as time passes she'll feel the weight of your absence. She'll wonder why you haven't chased her. And when she realizes she actually lost a man who stands on his values, that's when the regret kicks in. A woman will never respect a man she cannot lose. The moment you prove that you're not afraid to leave, she will either change or be replaced. Either way, you win. 5. Never react emotionally. The moment you react emotionally to a woman's disrespect, you lose control. Women do not respect men who lose themselves in emotions. If she disrespects you and you start yelling, arguing, or trying to prove yourself, you're playing her game and she knows she has you. Women test men all the time, sometimes without even realizing it. A disrespectful comment, an attitude, ignoring you. These are ways she checks your strength. If you react emotionally, you fail the test. But if you remain calm and controlled, she sees that you are a man who cannot be moved. And that's powerful. Many men make the mistake of thinking that if they just explain themselves better or argue enough, a woman will suddenly respect them. That never works. Respect doesn't come from explanations. It comes from how you carry yourself. A strong man does not need to prove himself through words. He shows his value through his actions and presence. Imagine this. You're in a heated argument with your woman. She raises her voice, throws insults, and tries to provoke you. Most men fight back. They yell, argue, or get defensive. But what does a man of control do? He stays calm, he looks at her, and without raising his voice, he simply says, "I don't argue with disrespectful people." Then he either removes himself from the conversation or the situation completely. Here's what happens next. She feels powerless. She expected a reaction. She wanted to see you lose control, because if you lose control, it means she has power over you. But when you stay composed, she is forced to reflect on her behavior. And deep down, she respects you more because you showed emotional strength. There is nothing more unattractive to a woman than a man who acts like a child when things get tough. She may pretend she wants a guy who is in touch with his emotions, but in reality, if you become too emotional in front of her, she will lose respect for you. Women need a man who can handle pressure, a man who can stay calm when things get rough. A practical example, let's say your woman gives you attitude out of nowhere. She rolls her eyes, speaks to you in a dismissive tone, or even insults you. A weak man would snap back, raising his voice or trying to argue. A strong man? He looks at her, gives her a moment, and if she keeps going, he simply says, "That's not how I communicate. Let me know when you're ready to talk properly." Then he walks away. This does two things. It stops the behavior immediately, and it forces her to realize her mistake. No arguing, no chasing, no explaining, just pure control. And that's what earns you respect. A man who cannot control his emotions will always be controlled by women. But a man who stays composed, he wins every time. 6. Control your space and energy. A man who allows disrespect in his space invites more of it. The moment you let a woman's bad behavior slide, she learns that you are a man she can walk all over. You need to control what happens in your presence. If a woman disrespects you, you remove your attention, your presence, and even yourself if necessary. Women do not respect men who tolerate nonsense. The more you let slide, the more she pushes the limits. She starts small. Maybe she playfully mocks you in front of her friends. If you laugh it off or let it go, she takes it a step further. Maybe she starts dismissing your opinions, cutting you off in conversations, or acting cold toward you. If you accept this, she goes even further. One day you find yourself being completely ignored, insulted, or treated like an option. And by that time, you've already lost her respect. Now let's be clear. Controlling your space doesn't mean you act like a dictator or get aggressive. It means you set boundaries and enforce them. When a woman sees that your energy cannot be drained, that you don't entertain drama, and that you refuse to be in environments where you are not valued, she knows she is dealing with a man of high standards. Let's take a practical example. You're out on a date, and she's glued to her phone, barely paying attention to you. Most men would feel annoyed, but wouldn't say anything because they're afraid of ruining the vibe. A man of control, however, doesn't tolerate that. He leans back, stays silent for a moment, and if she continues, he simply says, "It looks like you're busy. Let me know when you're free to actually enjoy this time together." Then he gets up and leaves. That moment teaches her a lesson. It shows her that if she wants your time, she has to respect it. And if she doesn't, you have no problem taking your time and energy elsewhere. This applies to everything. If she raises her voice at you, you don't yell back, you walk away. If she constantly plays games, cancels plans, or acts flaky, you don't chase, you cut her off. If she brings toxic energy into your life, you don't argue. You remove her access to you. Women respect what they have to work for. If she knows she can treat you however she wants and you'll still be there, you lose all value. But when she sees that you do not tolerate nonsense, that you only allow respectful feminine energy into your life, she either adjusts her behavior or she disappears. And either way, you win. Never beg for respect. Command it with your actions. A man who controls his space and energy is a man who is never desperate. And a man who is never desperate, he is always in control. 7. If she won't respect you, walk away forever. There is one final, undeniable truth in dealing with a disrespectful woman. If she refuses to respect you, you walk away forever. No explanations, no warnings, no second chances. Men make a huge mistake when they keep giving disrespectful women more time, more chances, and more of their energy. They think if they just show her how much they care, if they just stay patient, if they just explain themselves better, she will finally see their worth and start respecting them. But here's the cold truth. Once a woman loses respect for you, it is almost impossible to get it back. Women do not respect weakness, and a man who tolerates disrespect is showing weakness. You need to understand that a woman who truly values you will never repeatedly disrespect you in the first place. She may test you, she may push a little to see if you are strong, but if she keeps crossing the line, she doesn't respect you. And if she doesn't respect you, she doesn't deserve you. Here's what happens when you walk away forever. She will feel it. She will feel the weight of losing you. She will feel the emptiness of your absence. And in many cases, she will try to come back. She might suddenly start calling, texting, or trying to get your attention. But here's the key. You do not go back. You do not reward disrespect with another chance. A real-life example. A man is in a relationship where his woman constantly disrespects him. She ignores his messages, flirts with other men in front of him, and dismisses his opinions. At first, he tries to talk to her about it. He tells her how it makes him feel. She doesn't change. Instead, she keeps pushing, seeing how much he will take. But one day, he decides enough is enough. He doesn't argue, doesn't explain, doesn't beg. He just leaves. He removes himself from the situation completely. He blocks her number, unfollows her on social media, and moves forward with his life. No anger, no revenge, just silence and distance. A few weeks later, she starts reaching out. She suddenly misses him. She wants to talk. Why? Because she feels the power shift. She realizes she lost a man who valued himself. But by then, it's too late. A man who knows his worth never returns to a woman who disrespected him, because the moment you let her back in, she knows she can get away with it again. The respect you're trying to build, gone instantly. Walking away forever is the most powerful move you can make. It's the ultimate proof that you are a man of value. You don't beg, you don't convince, and you don't stick around where you are not respected. And when a woman sees that, she either respects you deeply or she watches you leave for good. That is the ultimate power move. Respect is not something you ask for, it's something you command through your actions. A woman will only respect a man who respects himself first. If you tolerate disrespect, you invite more of it. If you set boundaries and enforce them, you gain her admiration, but the ultimate move, walking away forever when she refuses to respect you. That's when she realizes she lost something valuable. And by then, it's too late. A strong man never begs for respect. He earns it, or he removes himself completely. Be that man. Now go apply this and never let disrespect slide again. If you're serious about mastering the dating game, don't miss out on my exclusive online course. We go beyond what's covered in these videos, giving you powerful insights from the first approach to lasting attraction. Only 5 discounted slots remain, and it's easy to enroll with secure payment options. Visit stoicapproach-to-life.podia.com or simply click the link in the description to secure your spot. Don't wait until it's too late. Take action now and start transforming your dating life today.